Hello folks, as you can see we are still in Lanzarote and goodness me have we got an adventure coming up in this video. We are off on an excursion. We've actually booked we never book excursions, but we've booked an excursion because for the first time ever on a holiday we went to the welcome meeting and they mentioned this excursion and it just sounds awesome. Fingers crossed it does actually live up to the hype because we are getting on a bus, which I'm not a massive fan of. I've had to take my travel sickness tablets, but we're getting on a bus, going up an active volcano, and then when we get to the top, there's a restaurant that cooks all of the food using the heat from the active volcano. So, as far as I'm concerned, it's one step away from having my steak barbecued by a dragon. So, like I say, absolutely no idea what to expect outside of that. We knew nothing about this before we came. We've done no research on it. We just booked the excursion yesterday. We're going on the trip today and we're going to bring you along with us. One slight worry is we're getting picked up outside our hotel at 4:30. So obviously we're missing dinner here tonight because we're going out for dinner up a volcano, but when I got the confirmation email through having booked the excursion, it did say the excursion time was 4 to 8 hours. 4 hours I can cope with. Picked up at 4:30, back here by half 8-ish, a little bit of dinner while we're there, that works for me. 8 hours? That would mean we'd be getting back here after midnight, which means one of two things, either a horrible long coach journey, which I can't cope with, especially in this heat, or lots of waiting around, which I also probably not going to be a big fan of. So fingers crossed it's closer to 4 hours than 8, but we're getting picked up in the next 10 minutes or so, so I'll meet you there, I guess. Very excited. Not even left the hotel yet, and I'm already driving Anna crazy because I have to be early for things. We were told to meet for the bus at 5:15. But it also said on the ticket to be there 5 minutes before the meeting time. And then when you add in the additional autism tax for that, it means I want to be stood outside in the sun from 4:30, which Anna feels is unnecessary. It's 31 minutes past 4. So I would argue she's won because we're not yet stood in the spot and I'm feeling very uncomfortable about it. We're out the front of the hotel.
It's 4:32.
Yeah, 4:32. Nobody else is here. We were told during the booking for this that there's spaces for up to 120 people. Now, obviously, they're not all going to be coming from our hotel, but it might be that we're the only people from our hotel. Huh? I thought I'd sit on the bench. You like to sit down? We did get a little bit of background for this before booking. So apparently TUI, because this is an excursion arranged by TUI, the travel company. Apparently TUI are the only company who have permission to do this particular excursion. I think by that they mean because we're going to get off and walk on some of the volcanic areas as well. The place we're going to eat is a restaurant, so I can't imagine that restaurant is only open on Wednesdays when TUI decide to send a coach out there. So I think they were maybe exaggerating slightly. I think the volcanic food experience anyone could just go up there and do, but also as part of it, we're going to be walking on some of the volcanic areas. Apparently there's bits up here which is where the Mars rover was tested because it's similar to space. So we're going into space and it just should be a lot of fun. It's cost us €68 per person to do this. So by the time that's accounted for two of us and then been converted, a little over £100, I think, for the cost of this excursion. So fingers crossed it's worth it. We don't often get out when we come and do these kind of holidays. We're notorious for staying in a hotel and just enjoying the all-inclusive. So we're getting out and about, we're experiencing some local culture. Let's hope it's fun, eh? Last time we did an excursion on a holiday, it was the boat trip in Tenerife last year, and I spent 5 hours with my head in a paper bag. So, yeah, and Anna actually vomited. So, as far as I'm concerned, this particular trip is a roaring success if neither of us throw up. Well, we've made it onto the bus, and because we're the cool kids, we're sat in the back row. Yeah, look at Anna, cool kid Anna. The actual reason we're sat in the back row, one, it keeps us away from the crowd, so I'm less conscious about using the camera, but two, unlike on the coach transfer from the airport, I don't have to cramp my knees in behind there, because as you see, they don't fit so good. But I can just sit dangling like that. We did almost end up on the wrong coach as well, because the first one that turned up was the French-speaking coach for the same trip, and I was quite insistent that I wanted to get on it, because I was like, but I want my volcano barbecue, and she was going, French. I'm like, I'm not French. And then we eventually figured out what was going on.
Yeah, but there's 2 people.
Yeah, that was a very empty. I mean, this one's only got like 10 people on. It's not a very full coach just yet. I mean, we don't know how many more stops there are after us, but yeah, we are away. So we've got off the bus for our first stop. Apparently, we're now going to go and do an experiment, and then we're going to get back on the bus and go around the craters, and then I think the restaurant where we're going to have the volcano barbecue is here. There's a gift shop and a few other bits as well, but the view up here is pretty special. I don't know how much of the audio from the bus came through, but basically this is all the result of volcanoes, over 100 volcanoes going off for over 6 years back in the 18th century, and basically just absolutely flooding the island in a sea of lava. And then this is what got left over after it all cooled down and dried off. It's completely unusable land because of it. And yeah, it just looks like the surface of the moon, with a restaurant on top, and all of the food in there is cooked using the heat from the lava. There you go, we're going down that way apparently. We all keep getting told off for not following instructions, but I think we're going down this way. There's a nice look at the landscape. I'm already thinking we probably should have brought Anna's walking stick, because this is pretty steep. But we're heading down here for our experiment. So the ground on this bit is mad. It feels like walking on a really stony beach. So apparently this is a hot spot. And we're going to see how hot it is down there. So it's apparently between 60 and 90 degrees in this hole, which is a metre down. They've told us to put our hands out in front of us to basically feel how hot it is.
Getting it on my arm.
Ah, okay. He's going to put some stone in us. Okay. Oh wow, that is hot. That is very hot.
Oh.
That is mad. That was too hot to keep hold of. That was just the stones that he'd shoveled off of that little pile there, which, like I say, a metre down, it was very hot. That was like barbecue coals. That was mad. I do hope the next experiment doesn't involve them trying to burn me. More awesome views. It's rare that I wish I had the drone with me, but my word, do I wish I had the drone with me. This is incredible. Oh my word.
Okay, please make a big circle here.
That feels like I'm stood next to a bonfire standing here. Smells like a barbecue as well. So smoky.
Our second experiment, we have another hole in here. It is 2 meters deep. The temperature in there, be careful, don't fall. The temperature there is between 200 and 300 degrees. There is no fire in there, only this one that you can see up there, but it will disappear in a minute. So there are hot stones. So my colleague is going to take a bit of this dry gorse, and he's going to approach it to the stones. In around 10 to 12 seconds, this is going to burn. Adelante. ¿No te había visto nunca aquí? Nunca te había visto.
Llevo 2 años aquí, no, solo estar abajo. Solo trabajo. Vamos allá.
Vale, contamos. 1, 2.
So he's just put those sticks down there, and that is mad. There's apparently no fire down there. It's just that the stones are so hot, 200 to 300 degrees, and they put the whatever that is, dry stuff down there, and you saw it 10 seconds, and that has caught fire. And no wonder it smelt like a barbecue over here. That is mad. You can really feel the heat coming off of it as well. So, experiment number 3.
Video on. Oh. Video on.
Whoa, okay. Second one was a lot more impressive than the first. That made me jump. Hopefully I won't jump and shake the camera this time because I'll be expecting it properly. So they have to cool down the pipe with a little bit to begin with, and then they dump a load in, and that's when it gushes.
Video on.
And that's a very confident man in knowing it takes 2 seconds because he walked over it after he dumped the water down there. So next stop, we're going around to see the grill apparently, which should be fun. Let's go and have a little nose in here.
So you can visit the kitchen.
Oh wow, that is warm. So there you go, you can see that they're doing a bit of chicken on there at the moment. I'm far too coward to actually look. Well, that is hot. The heat coming off that. So this is where our dinner's going to be cooked tonight. That is proper hot. That's mad. That's so hot. That's insane. And then this guy is apparently the mascot of the national park. Little devil with a fork. And then I think this is a restaurant that we're going to be eating in later. But not now, although Anna's already wandering in there. We've got to be back on the bus in 15 minutes. We're going to go and ride around the crater, then we come back here later on to eat. So I think to summarise everything that we've just seen since we've been here is it's quite hot in these little hot spots. Apparently the volcanoes themselves are no longer active, but despite the fact the volcanoes aren't active, there's still these little hot spots, and then when they find the hot spots, they can use them for cool stuff like that. The geezer's going off again behind us. And probably more important than any of that, there's a gift shop, including boobies and willies. So we've got to get some of that. Last time I was on a trip and bought a bracelet, you all called me an idiot in the comments, so I'm not allowed to buy a bracelet today. Because of the one at the Colosseum where I bought 3 and didn't know what was happening. Oh, well, I can get myself a little Diablo man, or an excellent looking camel. We do like a gift shop. Apparently there's, I want something made out of volcanic rock.
Over there.
Is that what they are over there? Oh, so this is my volcanic rock stuff. I bet this is expensive. That's actually not too bad. None of it's particularly masculine though. Got myself my traditional fridge magnet with the little Diablo guy on. I'm very happy about. So we're going through the craters now and going to a part where only this tour company are allowed to go, supposedly, so should be good.
Between 1726 and 1730, frequent earthquakes and loud underground rumblings caused panic among the population of the interior. The eruption took place towards the end of the summer of 1730, on the evening of the 1st of September.
So we've just got off the bus. And over here, you can just about see the restaurant where we were before. I would give you a closer view, but we were specifically told to stay only on the pavement and not touch anything. So they've gone on the pavement, they've gone off the pavement, and I just looked over here, and Anna was leaning over and touching things. So I'm the only person in the world who follows all the rules, I think. I mean, it is pretty impressive. So we've got a big crater there, which I think I need to get brave enough to get a little closer and have a look over the side. I don't know where Anna's gone. Let's go down to the next bit and have a look. Yeah.
Where you go?
I'm going down there to have a look. We'll have a little looky down here. I peer over the edge. So have a little look down there then. Yikes. I mean, we've come in on that road. It's bonkers. There's no way you'd catch me driving here. But the road we came in on, it's obviously completely one way. You can see how narrow it is. They're allowed 3 buses up here at a time, and it all has to be pre-arranged. They can only do it at certain times of the day, and obviously have to coordinate and all come in together and all go out together, because if you had them coming in opposite directions on that little road, problem. And certainly no one's going to want to be reversing. So we're now going up this little path, which I'm not quite sure where the little path is going to take us, but I dare say the views from up here are going to be quite impressive. Wowzers. This is bonkers. Look at that. So this view kind of puts everything into perspective, just how huge this area is. It is massive. You can see the sea over there. But this is, I mean, it goes on quite a long way. As you can see, as far as you can see in any direction pretty much, it's just lava fields. Madness. I've lost Anna again. She's around somewhere. Volcano. Here she is, look. Yeah. I mean, if you look at it from over this side, look, it is mad. Absolutely mad. I kind of want to set up a sunset time lapse up here, but the sun doesn't set for another 2.5 hours, so don't think I'm going to get away with it. Let's have a look what's right up here at the end. Got to go further than you're supposed to. They're the rules, aren't they? Okay. And there's another bus down there. Don't know if he's waiting to come in or what. The wind certainly hits you up here, so I imagine the audio's just taking a hit. But again, impressive business. My goodness me. There you go, look. We're doing a picture video. Smiling, big teeth.
This is great, by the way.
Yeah, it's cool, isn't it? This is a great excursion. Even if they just took us back to the hotel now for us to have dinner there, I'd be like, yeah, that was worth the money. The fact they're going to get fed as well. This is good. This is worth doing. If you come to Lanzarote, do this. I really want to take a rock home, and I've seen other people do it already, but A, my brain won't let me do it because we've been told not to, and B, you can guarantee I'd be the one who got caught, even though I'm the only one who seems to be taking the rules seriously. There you go. Anna wants a photograph in front of the red.
This is the colour I want my hair one day.
I thought you were having your hair done on Saturday anyway. Oh, I see. We also need to rush back to the bus because we're in a competition with a German couple for the back seat of the bus. So, fingers crossed. I think they were still at the top there. So we've not got to be back here for another 4 minutes, but I want that back seat. Oh, I want that back seat. So back on the bus, and fingers crossed. Success. That's an impressive hole down there. Look at that bad boy. So we've stopped here so we can all have a little nose inside a crater. Absolute madness. So at this point, the road seems to have just been carved out of the side of the volcano, because on both sides of us, we're in it. This is bonkers. Absolutely bonkers. I don't know if the camera's even doing it justice, but it's mad. Anna tells me that's all sorts of different colours. Oh, I can see some orange on there. It's the first bit of different colour I've seen. Oh, colourblind Kev, not really able to see, but that bit's almost as impressive as the needles. And then you get out of the sea of lava, and it basically looks like a desert from all the volcanic ash. Which is equally as mad. And with that, we are back at the restaurant. Time for delicious food. So we've made it in, not for the first time this holiday. I have confused a Spanish man by turning down alcohol. Luckily, they had apple juice for the kids. Which is so sweet. My word. There's a man over there with a tiny guitar as well. I'm very excited about the tiny guitar. I need to learn to do that on my ukulele. So we have a table full of things and stuff. So we've had a little bit of a bread, a little bit of a Coke, but now it's time for the main event. The reason we're here, we're going through to the barbecue. They're taking us through table by table. It all moves very quickly. So Not quite sure how the system is operating, but people are walking out of the little barbecue room that we were in earlier with a plate full of food, which is awesome. Oh, it smells good in here. Look at all that food. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Ironically, no smoking here, unless it's the food, I guess. Smells like proper barbecue in the garden. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Have a nice day.
Thank you.
Hola.
Lovely, lovely, lovely. And now something healthy to go with it. Tomato and I don't know, food. Look at it all, lovely. Well, somehow I've ended up with no vegetables. Anna said she didn't want any, and the guy just assumed that covered me as well, and I'm too socially awkward to say, oi, give me my tomato. So I've just got half a potato and a plate of meat. It really is like a barbecue. And there's dessert, which is a little volcano with the little devil boy. Excellent. It's a mousse of some kind. Well, that was pretty tasty. The one disappointing thing is we didn't really get to see it being cooked, but we can come in here now. You can feel the heat coming off that. I mean, it feels hot enough to cook off like a barbecue, even from this range now. So I don't know how far down that hole goes. I'm going to hold on to the camera very tight and hold you over it. It is cool. It's very warm there. It's very cool out here because it is officially 2 minutes past sunset. So I think if we head out over here and look towards where the sea is, we might see the last remnants of it. No. Sun has gone. And there you go. This is what it looks like just after the sun is set. So it's just dipped down below the volcanoes. And it does look very cool. It is not warm up here now, but these are the holes from earlier on. That's the one that they did the fire in. That's where the hot stones were grabbed from. Oh, and Anna wants a picture. So, just time for an official review before we get back on the coach. The trip itself was awesome. Loved the trip. The food was a little bit disappointing. We didn't actually get to see them cook it. If we hadn't have nipped into that bit, yeah, if we hadn't have nipped into that bit earlier on in the day and had a look, all we would have seen was those serving trays like in a canteen, which would have been pretty disappointing. Like Anna says, there wasn't much in the way of choice. We were led to believe there would be steaks. But yeah.
Had a bit of a sausage and a bit of pork.
Yeah. Ultimately, the food was fine. If you drink, goodness me, did they ply people with drinks. There was a glass of something bubbly on the way in, a jug of sangria on the table, constantly filling up wine glasses. Me and Anna got 2 fizzy pops each. But for the price we paid for the trip, for the experience of doing all the volcano stuff, the meal, and then all that booze that people were putting away, then yeah, I think it probably is. I mean, it definitely is. It's definitely something you should do. Just don't necessarily expect slap up 5-star eating, and don't expect to actually see them doing the barbecuing, which is a big disappointment for me. But luckily, I've been back in there a couple of times, so I'll survive. I think we need to get back on the coach to make sure we get our back seats, because it is loading back up again. So if you have enjoyed this video, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for us. Subscribe to the channel for loads more travel videos, and of course the rest of our Lanzarote trip. And thank you very much for watching.